What's up, everybody? It's Wheelie, bro. And today, I'm gonna teach you how to circle.
You big old sus, yeah. I just doubled up on crypto. I just doubled down on the new vest. Now my chair looking like 2 checks. Type of money made me want to 2-step.
Alright guys, this video has been requested a whole lot, as my other tutorials go. Same thing, I don't usually make tutorials on something until I feel like I'm good enough at it myself to teach other people how to do it. So now's the time. I feel like I'm okay enough with circles that I can teach you guys some stuff. So we're going to jump right into this. I'm going to try to make this video fairly short. That way if you do go to the lot, you can take and watch the video over and over if you need to, whatever. And I'll cover all the points relatively quickly and try not to drag it out. So first things first, if you're trying circles, you should at least be somewhat familiar with idle. I feel like you should be riding idle wheelies okay with no problem, because obviously circles are, you can't come into them chasing them, so that's not going to work. So you should at least have idle down by now, and be fairly comfortable with controlling your brake, covering your clutch, that kind of stuff. The next part's a big one, tire pressure. Okay, this is so important, and I think when I first started learning circles, I kind of lacked here because I ran my tire pressure relatively low, because that's what I was used to doing to learn idle. So if you've been learning idle, you're probably running a lower tire pressure. I'm just going to let you know that what I feel like you should do, of course this is nothing but a matter of opinion, what I feel like you should do is at least put your tire to 30 psi. If you feel a little uncomfortable with it, like you dip a little too much when you're trying your circles, bring an air gauge with you, bump it down to like 25, but I really wouldn't let it get below 25, because you're really going to need that air pressure to help you dip into the circle. So there's that. Comfortable with idle, plenty of air in the back tire. Don't go crazy with it. I run 45 right now, okay, and my bike leans over pretty hard, but I'm also running a Shinko tire, which isn't as much of a cornering tire as some of your other ones like Pilot Powers and that sort of stuff. So it varies, but just say 30 for now for learning. Okay guys, so we're gonna get right into it here. First of all, idle, when I'm running, I run a little over 3K on my 2013. Whatever you've been learning idle wheelies on, run it, okay? So there's two main positions that are going to be logical for circles. You're going to have staggered, hole in the seat, so your right or left foot, whichever way you're trying to turn, will go in the center hole in the rear seat, and then one foot on the sub cage. I'm going to be doing seat stander circles. When I first started learning circles, guys, I did stuff double back peg, which I just don't recommend it. I feel like you're going to hold yourself up. I know double back peg when you're learning idle is a little bit more comfortable than seat stander because of center of gravity and stuff, but trust me, when you start learning circles, you're going to want to stagger them, or you're going to want to do seat standers, because if you don't, your body's not going to work right, with the bike in terms of, making her want to spin. So we're going to talk about body position on the bike. So what you're going to notice that I do, this is important, okay? I circle to the left, okay? You might want to try circling to the right, whatever. For me, it's to the left, okay? That's just my thing. Everybody has a preference, okay? So what I do, if you've been riding motorcycles for long enough, you understand how counter steering works. Like when you're on the road, obviously, you want to go to the right, you lean right, but you turn your bars left, and the bike goes right. Okay, so very similar to a circle. You'll notice that when I'm doing circles, my bars at least are parallel with the ground. So if I go circle to the left, my bars go to the right. Okay, you'll notice too that when I clutch up and I'm ready to dip into my circle, my bars turn to the right. Now, I might straighten them back out a little bit as I get into the circle to control my dip, but something, I don't know what, but something has to do with this, because you'll rarely ever see me get into a circle and turn with the circle. I never do that. Some people are able to do it and it works for them. This is just personally what I feel like makes it work for me. So remember, bars at least parallel with the ground as you turn over, and counter steer, and trust me. Thing number 2 that I see a whole lot, and this is speaking with seat stander circles. This is going to sound super weird, but body position wise, you'll see it when I clutch up. It'll make sense, but I'm trying to explain it before then. You clutch up, okay? You get your nice idle 12 o'clock, whatever, and you're going to keep that front tire up. You're going to bump past balance point a little bit, you're keeping your legs straight. Don't lock your knees, but keep your legs straight. Kind of poke your ass out a little bit. You don't want to be up on the tank trying to learn the circles, because the bike's going to have a harder time dipping. You want to separate yourself from it a little bit and push yourself off a little. And basically what I'm doing, I clutch up, balance point, pull her back a little bit behind balance point, lean, so bars to the right, let the bike lean left. I'm putting a little bit of weight on the inside foot, and I'm actually pushing my body to the right, which sounds super weird, okay? I'm circling to the left, remember this. But what I'm doing is I'm basically taking the bike in my mind and taking the bars and just moving them over. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing this in my mind. So I'm throwing my body to the right while I do this. Like, my legs are still on the seat, and I've still got my weight on my inside foot, but my ass and my upper body goes to the right, opposite of the way the bike's wanting to turn. So let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about, and it'll make a little bit more sense to you, okay? Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and try my best here to show you what I'm talking about. Again, I'm going to clutch up, steer against my circle, counter steer, move my body slightly to the right, putting some weight on this foot, and just imagining in my head I'm taking my bars, leaning them over. Don't be afraid to commit to the dip, okay, because that's the scary part. Your bike's going to want to dip. Your natural reaction is going to be to grab some brake and just bring it down because you're scared. You're going to have to blip your throttle and stay in it, okay? So let's just get right into it. All you're going to do, clutch up, bars are turned. I'm just blipping my throttle. As soon as I feel my front tire getting a little too low, I'm being super easy on my brake. I'm trying to let my idle carry me as much as possible to keep the front tire up. Circles, you're not going to use near as much brake as you would just carrying idle wheelies. I'm barely squeezing my brake right now and just letting my idle do the work. Again, bars are turned at least parallel with the ground. I'm leaning slightly to the right. Basically, while the bike's dipped over, I'm just standing straight up. I'm letting the bike work under me. So no clutch work here. This is nothing but just idle circle, right? This is what you're wanting right here. Let your idle carry you. If you feel it start to drop the front tire, you just blip the throttle. There, I came a little too far back. That's where you don't need to know clutch work, but you need a 12 ball on your bike, no doubt. But you need to cover your clutch no matter what. Because if you ever get in a bind, just grab that bad boy and save yourself. Another big tip that I have for you guys for circles is persistence. This literally, if you followed me for long enough, you understand how long I struggled with circles. Like, this was an issue for me for a long time because, you know, I focused on this like almost every single time I rode, you know, and then it took me months, it felt like, to get it, you know, between the bike breaking down and between, you know, life happening and all that. So, you know, you got to stick with this, guys. This isn't something that you can do. I mean, some of you might be able to nail it in a weekend. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are super close. So, you know, anyways, again, this is all I'm doing. Standing on the seat, keep your legs straight. As I turn the bars, that has so much more control than you think, even though your front tire is not on the ground. Turning the bars does a lot for your circle. So you'll notice here, a little too much gas, but the harder that I lean my bars over and the harder that I got, you know, the farther I leaned over, the more the bike leaned over. You see it dipping more and more? Like, that's a nice tight circle right there. I'm idling, I'm not gassing crazy through it, and I'm not really touching my brake. Like you can see, I'm grabbing my brake a little bit, and then if I feel like the front tire's dropping, I just gas it a little bit. Just blip it. That's all you're doing, is blipping that front tire. You're going to learn really good throttle control by doing this, because that's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to blip your front tire as soon as you feel it starting to come down, right? The biggest thing with this video, guys, I want to answer as many questions as I can for you guys. If there's anything about this that maybe you didn't understand or something that you have another question about, get with me, get on Instagram, get in the DM, and ask me all the questions. I reply to every single person that messages me, you know, long as I see it, whatever, and we'll work you through this, you know, because there's so many guys that are so close to circles, and hopefully this stuff helps. I know that mental notes, like, that's what this stuff is for me. You know, remember, move your bars over, let your bike lean over. Like, literally, imagine you're doing this, exactly what I just did, but in a wheelie. Okay? And just remember to stay loose. You know, at the end of the day, no matter what, enjoy yourself and have fun with it. If you get really frustrated with it or you're like super pissed off, might be time to quit for the day. But if you just stay loose and enjoy yourself and keep your body loose and just let the bike work under you, don't be afraid of it. Get outside of your comfort zone a little bit. You know, I'm all about respecting your bike, but don't be afraid of it, you know, because you're in control of your bike, you know, so you know your bike's limits, you know what you want it to do, so make it do it, you know, but just send it within your reason, you know, because I've definitely sent my bike out from under me not understanding its full capability, and I kind of paid for it. So anyways, you guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is why I came out today, was, you know, specifically to make this video for you guys. So so get out there and get your bike spinning. So we'll see you guys later.
I've been drinking, no driving, my texting and speeding. I swear that I ain't going home. If you're home on my phone, it won't leave me alone. I'm like Steve, I'm like Coke and Patron. I'm on that Coke and Patron.